Hello creative people, this is Catherine with aMotleyArt and I'm here with the She's Crafty mini pad class sketch 8, which means it's week 8, and there was the sketch for you. I'm going to focus on just kind of the top portion of that sketch, and I will have a playlist here at the top for all of my sketches for this mini pad class. In the description box I will have a link to She's Crafty's video that she put up for this sketch as well. So you can follow along with what I'm doing. You can see what she's doing. If you haven't subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And here we go with me pulling out the papers that I'm going to use for this particular sketch. Again, I'm using the same background as I used last week. I'm using the same paper pad that I've been using for several weeks now. And I think I'm just going to finish out with this paper pad. And I may even, depending on where we land here at the end of the weeks, I might see about doing a few more sketches to try to really use up the paper pad. See what I can do with it. A lot of times when I get down to the little bitty scraps of a paper pad, what I will do is I will just try to make a few ATC cards at that point when it's, there's enough to still do something with, but there's not enough to do bigger projects with. So for this particular sketch, I really decided that I wanted to bring in some of that blue. I thought it was really interesting that this Valentine's collection had this bit of blue in it, this kind of baby blue. I thought that was really pretty and really interesting, and I really wanted to try to make it a little bit of a focal on this particular layout with this particular sketch. I thought it was a good way to bring it in without it overtaking, right, and making it too blue. So I'm just trying to figure out here how I want my photo mat. I decided to go with a photo mat for a 2x3, which is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. Originally I was going to see if I could get 2, because in the sketch there was like 2 squares photo mats in this particular section, but I decided that I really just wanted this to be the one. I thought it would look better and just be a nice focal point with just one. So you'll see I'm fiddling here a little bit, and I'm going to put them down here in a moment and I'll make my decision on how I want that placed. So, I mean, you could easily add 2 on this sketch and it wouldn't have been bad, but I just thought I wanted to keep it a little cleaner and just have one focal point. Now, I kind of messed up there a little bit where I had made my blue piece a little bit shorter, but then it was too short. So the easiest thing when you do that is just cut it in half, and then you can hide it behind your element. As long as you have an element that you're putting on top of there, that's very easy to do, and that way you don't have to try to cut any more paper out. So I really like doing that. So I'm going to create my banners now that are going across this, and I'm using the trick of where you kind of cut up in half and then you go from one corner and cut in and go from the other corner and cut in, and I'm using these really long scissors. I thought I would try it. Usually I use my smaller scissors, and I thought let me try using the longer ones and see if that makes it a little bit easier, and it really didn't. It didn't. They're probably not perfect. I don't care. When you put them on there, nobody is staring at that part of the banner. I mean, it's just a nice texture element. It doesn't even, sometimes I make them completely wonky, and I actually like that better because it almost gives it a little bit of movement. Sometimes it's almost like a visual illusion to your eye that it's like it's as if it's moving, because we know that banners do that. We've seen them do that in the wind. So your brain kind of fills that in for you. So don't stress over that. Don't stress about your banners if they're perfect. Just try to get them as even as possible, and then just put them down, because they are usually not the element that people are going to focus on when they're looking at your overall image or your overall layout. So here I decide that I want to back the pink with some cardstock. And I just wanted to make sure the blue would look good with that cardstock. I don't know why I thought it wouldn't, because that's what I'm using for my photo mat. But I just wanted to verify again, and it does. So I go ahead and do this. I do a lot of layers. Typically, I am one of those people who tends to like to back with cardstock, back all their pattern paper with cardstock. And I've been trying not to do that as much with these layouts, because Shannon doesn't do that as much. With hers, she tends to lay pattern on pattern on pattern, and I just wanted to kind of practice with that and see how I liked that. But in this particular sketch, I just felt like I needed that cardstock for two reasons. I felt like it would define this element a little bit better, so that it really brings your eye to the middle of the page, which is what I wanted. I wanted to bring your eye into that middle area. And I also just feel like it makes the photo mat make more sense. So pretty much on all of these layouts, I've been trying to use that pink cardstock in at least two places. I've been using it for my photo mat, and then I've tried to use it for something. It could be an element that is part of the decoration, or it could be like this, where I'm using it behind an element, but I want it to be there multiple times on the screen. That way, when you look at the finished product, the photo mat makes sense. It's not like, why did you all of a sudden bring in this random piece of paper? It just makes everything look more cohesive, and I would just really like that. I think it really looks nice. And again, I think for this particular layout, when you look at it, it really helps to kind of give you an element that brings your eye to the main area, and then you kind of look at all the things that are going on in that area. So after the fact, after I had gotten this all done and I'm sitting here watching while I'm voicing over, I thought to myself, I probably should have done it with the blue too, but then it would have been a lot of layers, which I love that look. I really, really do love the look of a lot of layers, but that's not what I'm trying to do with these particular sketches. So I'm glad that I didn't do that, because it would have started to make this look very different from what I've been doing on other sketches. And I really do want all of the sketches for this particular class to kind of go together. So I didn't want to start doing a different style all of a sudden. So I'm glad that I didn't do that. But in the future, for this type of sketch, which I really love this sketch, I think it's really pretty. It goes together really easily and quickly. So I would love to maybe do this sketch again, but I probably would use more layers to really define all of the areas. And so I'm just getting my banners on there, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pop up my photo mat again, because I just really like having that dimension. I just think it also helps to make that more of the focal point, because we have a lot going over on the right hand side, right? With those banners the way they are is kind of pulling your eye to the right of the layout, but the photo mat's on the left of the layout. So I want to kind of have a reason to bring your eye back over to that area, and adding a little dimension will do that. It will also help kind of bring your eye back over. So I'm just using my recycled chipboard that I like to use to create this element. And I don't know what was going on with me and the glue today, but I think you may have noticed a couple of times things kind of moved around on me. I don't usually have that problem with Tombow glue, but today it was, we were having issues, but I was able to get everything back to where I wanted it. So that was great. Didn't have to stress over it. I just kind of moved things back. But that's nice about the Tombow, is that you have those few seconds to kind of move things around if you need to. So I'm just adding some enamel dots here. I decided with this particular one, I wanted to just keep with the pink dots, because I didn't want that to pull away from everything else that I had done. I wanted to add a few more of those red pearls on, because I wanted to ground that darker red that I used as well in the banners. And then I kind of was looking at this and I just felt like it needed something else. So I decided to cut out of like these little bingo cards the loved part. I just decided, I thought, you know what, I'm going to add the blue one so that I'm not adding any additional colors. And I just thought it would be nice to have some sort of sentiment on this particular layout. And I really tried to put it up top there. I tried, but it just didn't work out. I didn't really like how it was going. So I moved it around a couple of places before I finally decide where I want to put it. So sometimes that's what happens. You got to kind of just, play around with your elements, play around with what you've got until it says, yes, this is where I want to be. And I just really loved it there. I thought it actually kind of makes the banners make a little more sense. It seems more obvious that there are now banners there. But I decided I also wanted to pop that up because I really wanted it to come out as a focal element as well. I wanted your eye to go to that. So again, I'm going to give it a little height to help with that. And it kind of, to me, by making it the same height as the photo mat, it's making those pieces one unit, right? It's making those one type of element, and then everything else is lower, flatter, and so that's a second type of element. I did end up getting those on, and I was putting them down on the page, and I realized that because there's several layers where the banners are, but then in the middle there's not, that it wasn't sitting right. So I ended up bringing in a little cardstock to just kind of put a little bit more there behind it so that it would sit really nice and level and look really good. And it's not going to pull away on me because it's now level. Because that's the other thing you risk. If you don't make things level, then you risk that it will pull away while your glue is trying to dry, and then it could fall off later. So this way, now everything is really securely being glued together, so it's not going to pull away from the project later. So this is how my sketch ended. I appreciate you watching my video. If you have any questions, please put it in the comment, and have a creative day.